And it's been a long time since a quote-unquote game-managing quarterback, and I think that's what most people would consider Burrow to be. I consider Fromm to be that, and I'm the most hated person on planet Earth if you poll Georgia fans. But I think Fromm's a game manager. I mean, I think he's the best game manager in all of college football, but he's a game manager. He's winless when he throws over 30 passes. Georgia is winless under Jake Fromm when they rush for under 4 yards per carry. I mean, so I question whether or not in today's college football a game manager can win it all. But I think Burrow is good enough to win a lot of games on a team like LSU.
We've got Uncle Lou on the line talking Georgia, the SEC, and the nation. You can catch him on LouTube, so just search LouTube or Uncle Lou. I've done it myself, so it's going to take you right there on YouTube. So you're saying the most hated man on the planet for Georgia fans. You know, from what I've seen, Lou, all you have to do is look at the background. All you have to do is watch a little bit of the content. You're a Georgia maniac. You love it. You love them. But you're trying to cut it straight as much as you can. And you even say, hey, I'm going to lean Georgia. I'm going to tell you at the point of the game, we're going to beat anybody. But at the same time, during the offseason, I'm going to try to be neutral, and I'm going to try to give you some decent analysis. And it's only fair that we don't live in a perfect world. I'm going to critique my football program. Is there anything wrong with that?
Right. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, as a fan, we always want more than what we're getting. I guess maybe unless you're an Alabama fan, but hell, they want more now, right, than what they got last year. So, I mean, if a player plays good, I'm the first one to say it. But if he plays bad, I say that too. I mean, Fromm played terrible against LSU. I mean, you don't have to be a football analyst really to know that. You just have to watch the game. He was terrible. Didn't play that good against Texas. We played Alabama the last 2 years, and while I don't think Jake Fromm has had terrible games against Alabama, we've scored a total of 10 points in the second half against Alabama in 2 games. So we're averaging 5 points per game in the second half against Alabama. You're not going to win very many games against good teams scoring 5 points in the second half. It's not going to happen. We scored a touchdown against them this past season. In the SEC championship game early in the third quarter, and we kicked a field goal in the second half of the national title game. Outside of that, we've done nothing offensively against Alabama in the second half, and you're just not going to win very many big games that way. Now, a lot of that has to do with coaching, getting too conservative. We had big leads at halftime in both those games, so I'm not blaming the losses on Fromm, but, quarterbacks get way too much credit when a team wins, and they get way too much credit when blame when a team loses. This isn't anything new. It's been happening forever. There's a line of Georgia fans a mile long that will sit you down and talk to you for an hour about how Jake Fromm led us to a national title game in 2017. If that's true, then he also led us to a Sugar Bowl loss this year, led us to a loss against Auburn, led us to a loss against Texas, led us to a loss against LSU. You can't give Jake Fromm credit for taking us to the national title game and then try to tell me, well, it's a team game. That's why we lost to Auburn. Obviously, it's a team game. No one person is to blame, but we had, the greatest college football running back duo in history, an elite defense, and we had some things go our way in 2017. I haven't seen Fromm put the team on his back. That's what I'm saying. Now, he hasn't needed to 90% of the time, and I'm not complaining about our win-loss record. We've won a whole lot of games over the last 2 years. I'd like to win a couple more, and I'm not sure if any team can do that with a quarterback in today's football. I don't know if a quarterback with 2,700 total yards can win a national title. It hasn't happened since A.J. McCarron. Fromm had 2,700 yards passing, negative 27 rushing. Now, he's not a run-around guy, but negative 27, I mean, that's unacceptable. He takes too many sacks. He doesn't like to you could probably count on one hand the number of times Jake Fromm has thrown a ball away. Like, you know how you see a quarterback just sail it over the bench or something. Takes too many sacks. That's where the negative rushing yards come in. I mean, Trevor Lawrence isn't running for 1,000 yards, but he's got 75, 100, something like that for the year. So that tells me if he needs to escape or scramble or whatever, he's able to do it on occasion. I mean, I like Jake Fromm. Listen, before we had Jake Fromm, we had a string of quarterbacks that, I was banging my head against the wall with these people, Grayson Lambert, and I mean, the list goes on and on. Fromm miles ahead of them without question. But you also have to agree, I think anyway, he's been the quarterback of the two most talented teams in UGA history. I mean, we won it all in 80, and we had great teams with Herschel in 80, 81, and 82. But name me three other players off those teams. You can't do it unless you're a diehard Georgia fan. You just can't. These teams that Jake Fromm has had have been absolutely loaded. I mean, last year he had 3 NFL wide receivers and an NFL tight end. He threw for 2,700 yards.